What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 10 of Park to Prem here with Nottingham Forest. Today, we've got something a little bit different, everyone. You remember Swansea? Yeah, our little rivals. Well, it turns out the FA Cup decided that we had to play each other. So it's the fourth round there. I thought it would be a nice little distraction from a league campaign that, for the most part, has been relatively straightforward. And of course, it's nice to test ourselves against more Premier League opposition. We've already done that once this season against Arsenal. And if you were wondering how have Swansea done since their promotion via the playoffs, right now they sit in 17th. So yeah, they're a pretty good team, obviously. We went toe-to-toe with them, took them to extra time, and as things stand, they are, well, remaining safe. If we just take a quick look at the league table, I think it's worth mentioning Lincoln City, everyone. 8 points off the playoffs. They have turned things around. They were rock bottom not all that long ago. It has been just shy of 2 months since you were last here. And of course, we're in the middle of January, which, it just means that I've been busy in the market. I say busy. We've done a little bit of transfer business, but not too much, to be fair. Shall we talk about it? Let's talk about the ins first. Felipe has finally joined us from Palmeiras. I think that's how you say it. He's gone on loan to Genoa, going to be playing regular football in Syria. 18 years old, fairly professional personality, not a player who really needs tutoring. He's good to go out on loan and hopefully play some regular first-team football. We're going to keep a close eye on him. Perhaps the biggest signing we've made in this whole save game so far, Malang Sarr, the man on the thumbnail, everyone. A wonder kid this year in Football Manager. He's pretty blooming good. And I know, I don't need more centre-backs, but when you have the opportunity to sign this kind of centre-back, someone who is, undeniably absolutely outstanding, fits kind of how I want to play defensively in terms of being really good with the ball at his feet, 12 dribbling, 14 first touch, has the composure on the ball as well. And when they're available for 13 million, it becomes a very easy decision. I was very surprised at how little money we actually had to offer him to convince him to come over. He signed on £47,000 a week, which does make him one of the highest earners at the club. A 1-year extension after promotion. And, the reality of that means that he's probably going to be here up until, his 32nd or 33rd birthday. So, yeah, we've got him for the long haul. We've got him for all his best years. And this is the kind of signing where we're bringing in a Premier League calibre player for a ridiculously small amount of money in the grand scheme of things. And whilst I didn't necessarily need it, it's the kind of player you just can't miss, signing up. In fact, if we just compare him to Roberts, I think that's probably the best comparison, right? Hayden Roberts, our go-to left centre-back. Yeah, you can see the comparison there. A little bit older, a little bit more experience, still room in the squad for Hayden Roberts, but yeah, I couldn't pass up the opportunity to sign Sarr. And the final player we've picked up in January thus far is Jake Shaw from, you can see here, from Boston United. He looks pretty good. 700k the price we had to pay to prime away from Boston United. Looks like a very good centre-back, only 17. Very, very good current ability. Obviously, it looks like he's come through the Boston Academy that we helped to establish. Hopefully, he can go on to have a little bit of potential. And I have continued to look at ways in which we can add a little bit more in the way of English talent to our team. One player I'm looking at is Aiden Tyra, although as you can see here, the scout report has come back since I first thought about signing him, and it's not particularly good. He's available for 6.75 million. Hadn't seen the scout report. I delayed the transfer to wait for the scout report to come in. The fact he's injury prone, the fact his potential is not that good, maybe we'll pull out of that transfer dealing. One that I'm confident we won't be pulling out of is Callum Holmes, though. He's 18 years old, coming from Everton. He's an England under-19 international. He's consistent, looks pretty good as well. I think he could have a really, really good future at the club, and he could be joining us for as little as 4.6 million. But anyway, the fact we're signing Aiden Tyra, you might think, well, does that mean that someone's left? It does mean that someone's left. We've had a few sales, and I say sales, a lot of these have been loanings out, so we're not even going to cover them, but there has been one significant sale. I think when you see it, you're going to understand why I've done it. Matty Longstaff, he's gone, everyone. Let's be honest, he wasn't playing very well for us this year. 10 appearances, didn't contribute a whole lot. I will say he's now gone to West Brom and really found his best form. However, for a player who's 27 years old, who was signed for 4.2 million and was not playing well for us, I got an 18 million pound bid. I couldn't turn it down. It'd be silly to turn down that kind of money. So sadly for us, Matty's gone. That does leave us with a little bit of a gap at centre mid, which is actually where I was thinking Tyra could potentially come in and just help us out being a box-to-box midfielder. But those cons, it's not good, is it? Maybe back to the drawing board, maybe back to looking to see if we can find someone else. But yeah, a couple of little additions to the team, and perhaps most notably, Steve Secker is recalled from his loan from Porto. Yes, he's finally come. He's, of course, injury prone, but insane consistency. Only 18 years old. He looks absolutely nuts. I say only 18. He's 19. Reading numbers is hard, everyone. Regardless, he's not hit the ground running just yet. He's had 2 starts. He's not got a goal or an assist yet. Maybe today's the day he can turn that all around. Of course, last time I left things, we were in the middle of a board takeover. Did it happen? No, it didn't. So we're still looking to sell the club, sadly. And also, I think the guy who was going to take over was called Steve Cooper. And there was a top-rated comment on yesterday's video saying, we need a Marky Cooper update. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's a Northern Irish full international now. However, he's currently playing for Middlesbrough's under-23s. The Middlesbrough main team are in the Premier League. He's actually had 1 Premier League appearance. But yeah, he's not really scoring goals, is probably the long and short of it. He made 4 appearances at Brentford. He's now moved to Middlesbrough. If you wanted a little Boston United update, by the way, they're currently in 6th. I mean, Lincoln and Boston, they're doing us proud. Our legacy, I feel like, is still being felt at those clubs. But anyway, let's talk about the results since you were last here. Now, originally today, I was going to come back for the game against Birmingham, but when I saw the Swansea City Cup draw, I couldn't help myself. And you might notice Stoke are in 2nd. I could do the game against Stoke, but I promised I wasn't going to do any more games against Stoke, not this year at least. So, sorry Stoke, Swansea, the team we're going to be taking on today. Anyway, since you were last here, 2 months of football played, and we got things off to a flyer. A 4-1 win against Blackburn was a great way to start the month of December. Blackburn are a team who are right up there towards the top of the table, in the playoff spots, maybe have some faint automatic promotion aspirations. In this game, we looked very, very convincing. Samake was in fine goal-scoring form, as was Roger, which is a little unusual, but yeah, he got in on the goal-scoring action as well. He scored from a long throw to get our 2nd goal of the first half. They did pull one back before half-time, but to be fair, throughout this match, we were the dominant side, we were the better team, and we made it show on the scoreline. Samake getting 2, Roger getting 2, a really, really convincing result, and a game that we needed to win. After that disappointment against Bournemouth, I was desperate to bounce back, and we absolutely did that and more in this game against Blackburn. Anyway, following on from that, a few more straightforward games. We beat Peterborough 3-0. I guess the game against Sunderland was a little bit tight. Of course, Sunderland qualified for the playoffs last year and lost in the semi-finals against Swansea. We beat them 4-2 here. Samake scoring for another game in a row, which was great to see. Leighton Stewart also getting an on the score sheet. Against Ipswich, we were a little bit poor, a little bit tired. The fixture congestion really started to ramp up following on from this Ipswich Town game, and yeah, we scraped by courtesy of a Damani Grimes goal. Against Bristol Rovers, who have been a bit of a bogey team for us, we drew 1-1. Just weren't very good. They scored late on to get an equaliser. It's hard sometimes to take a result like that, but Talby's solitary goal, not really been enough for us. Just talking about Talby as well, whilst we're here, the young Frenchman, he's developing really, really well as an advanced forward, a player who I do perhaps need to give a few more first-team opportunities to, but as you can see here, he has played a decent amount of football, really. 10 starts, 9 appearances on off the bench. Just needs to start, returning on the pitch like he has been in the training ground, and I think he could be a really, really good player for us, to be honest. Anyway, we then played Millwall and beat them 4-1. That was a great result. Samake with 2, Talby with another. Piotr also getting in on the goal-scoring action, and in a not dissimilar fashion, he's been doing very, very well, of course. Only 19 years old, professional personality. He could be really, really special, this guy. He's so good, and he's been in great form as of late. A 7.34 average rating in our last 5. And well, let's speak about the last 6 games since you were last here. We've taken on Brentford 3 times in the last 6 games, twice in the FA Cup. We drew against them 1-1 in the Cup. Hayden Roberts' solitary goal for us was not enough, but we then played them again in the Championship and beat them 3-1. In the very next game, though, against Cardiff, this was uncharacteristic. This was a weird game. I didn't like this match one little bit. They scored in the first minute, everyone. First highlight of the game, you think it's going to be a kick-off highlight. It wasn't. They scored, and, well, we had to mount a fight back, and fight back we did, at least initially. Samake got a goal for us just before half-time, Alex Myton then chipping in with a rare goal for us in the 54th minute to give us the lead for the first time in this game. And then in the space of 6 minutes, it went from 2-1 to us to 4-2 to them. Yeah, it was like a flurry of punches. It was all a blur to me. I couldn't recall what happened in the ring as we boxed it out with them, but what I know is that we weren't good enough. They were very clinical. I think their first chance was a long shot, then a couple of well-worked goals with some tidy finishing. And ultimately, we lost 4-2. This is the only defeat that we've had since that Bournemouth game. And Cardiff are not a team going particularly well, which made this result even more disappointing. I did kind of put it down initially to, an element of tiredness. We've played so many games in quick succession. Maybe this was just us getting caught out a little bit. But then, in the very next game against Brentford, the FA Cup third round replay after that 1-1 draw, we beat them 5-0 everyone. So I don't know what to think anymore. It's just a bit of a mystery. 5 different goal scorers in this one, which was very, very nice. And then most recently, we have scraped by against Birmingham and Reading. 2 1-0 victories, but they all count. And, with those results, as you have already seen, we sit top of the table on 69 points, right? Get the funny comment. I know some of you, you're in the middle of writing your comment about the funny, it's a funny number, 69. Stop it. Stop it. I'm just going to say 7. We're on 70 points for the sake of this video. You can see here, today we've obviously got the FA Cup game against Swansea. Worth noting that Norwich are playing their game in hand in the league today. Even if they win that, they can't close the gap by any more than the gap that we currently have to Stoke. So right now, we're sitting quite pretty with 17 games left of the season. With that all said, today's focus isn't on the league. It's all about the FA Cup, which in truth isn't a competition I've got my eyes on. It's not a competition we're expected to win. The board expectation is to reach the 5th round. Really, today's about getting a little bit of revenge. Who doesn't want some revenge? Of course, Swansea, the team who I could have managed them, everyone. We could have gone to them, but we didn't. You can see Tom Smith is still considered their key player. He's pretty blooming good still, isn't he? Although I will say 3 goals in the Premier League from an XG of 9. Shocking. So maybe he's not that good after all. Anyway, you can see here the entirety of our team is just rested. And the reason for that is I want to play a full-strength team today, but I didn't want to compromise our league form. We've had to rest constantly. This is always that time of the year where it really is make or break. If there's a period where you're going to lose your form, I feel like this kind of 2 months that we've just got through is those kind of 2 months, really, to be honest. I'm hoping that this game here, we're going to get a nice win, and it's going to be cruise control to the end of the year, with maybe a little bit of excitement in the FA Cup to follow. Of course, the further we can go in the FA Cup, the better. The money that we get isn't as significant as it was once upon a time where we were Boston manager, but make no mistake, it'd be nice to do quite well against them. Anyway, today's team is going to be the 3-4-3. We're not changing anything there. It's going to be a live commentary debut for Seka. Excited to see what he can achieve for us. Elsewhere in the team, we're pretty much at full strength for the first time ever, of course. It's also going to be a live commentary debut for Malang Sarr, who I talked about signing him. He started very well at the club, actually. 4 appearances in the league as a starter, a 7.2 average rating. And in the replay that we had against Stoke, he was very good, a 7.8. Maybe he's an FA Cup player. I don't think that's a thing, is it? You can't just have an FA... Someone who's good in the FA Cup isn't a thing, Jack. You can't call them an FA Cup player. But no, looking at the rest of the team, it's going well. Of course, with Longstaff leaving us for 18 million, I am pinning a lot of our hopes, aspirations and expectations on Ronan Palembi, the Frenchman. So, no pressure, Ronan. I know you're a little bit injury prone. Let's hope that isn't going to be the case in this second half of the season. There is definitely scope in the team to get in a new centre mid, of course. There was that Brighton guy who I was looking at. Really, I'd like to get in a centre mid who is kind of happy to be 4th or 5th choice, maybe have a little bit of potential about them, but not be expecting regular first team football. That is one thing we have struggled with so far here at Forest, I think, is just tempering expectations when it comes to playing time. Not that we've had a load of players complain about lack of game time and lack of playing time yet, but I am conscious of the fact there are plenty of players expecting first-team football, and not all of them can actually get it on the regular. But anyway, this is the rematch. Last time we clashed, it was it 3-1 or 4-1 or 4-2? My head went after their extra-time goal in the playoff semi-final, or final. It was a final. I don't even remember. I want revenge today. Steve Seka wasn't there on the day. He's out for revenge. The South African gets his first ever goal for Nottingham Forest. It's taken him less than 2 minutes into his live commentary debut. Really nice build-up play here. Regina, lovely, lovely run by him. Gets to the byline, pulls it back towards the back post, and Seka, he leaps like a salmon. He stings like a bee. He headers it past, and well, it's 1-0 for us against Swansea. Wow, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. No, really good start to the game though. Nice move as well. Let's see if we can have something similar happen here. We've scored 1 goal that started from a throw-in on this near side. Could we have a second? Well, not at the moment because we're out of possession. But Palembi now has it, launches it to Samaka, who goes round the keeper and squeezes it in. And these are a Premier League team, everyone. Just to remind you, this is, a good way, I guess, for us to gauge how far we've come. I'm also very happy about the fact we're doing it with the 3-4-3. But no, this ball by Palembi, filling in Matty Longstaff's boots. The keeper, it has to be said, is in absolute no man's land. He's got lost on the way there. He's asked Samake for directions, and Samake's sent him the wrong way, just giving him the wrong directions. More intentionally, I think, than as an accident. Either way, 2-0 up. They've not had a shot yet inside the first 20 minutes. We've had 55% of the ball. We are dominating. I'm a little bit puzzled by them playing a 4-5-1, but who am I to judge? You would expect with them having, more midfielders like this, they're hoping to dominate the play, but so far we are having so much more of the ball here. Anyway, it's another replay that starts on this near side, although I do fear a counter-attack is on this time, as Eze has it. The lone striker might need to hold it up here for some on-running players. Takes it past his man, hits the woodwork, oh my word. Do not foul Akande there in the box, please, boys. Get it away. Malang Sarr, huge header. Brewster gets it away further. Oh my, I don't know who that was for them who had that effort. I think it was Eze. It was a nuts effort. Saka now going the other way. I feel like we've seen the highlight chance. I feel like we've seen it now. Right, stop. No, we can end this highlight quicker, Football Manager. I know they've hit the crossbar or the woodwork. I know that was the chance. Maybe we've got one here, though. Regina, referee. Regina's gone down asking for the penalty. Roger, stay on your feet, mate. Palembi, Robertson, Seka, Samake, Smith. Oh, my word. What a goal that could have been. The passing there. Just one touch, swift. One after the other, after the other, after the other. Knocked around so well. Just a tad unfortunate at the end there. There wasn't quite the end product from Smith. But at the break, it's 2-0. They've not had a shot on target, everyone. I'm feeling quite giddy right now. No need to change anything. Praise the lads. Tell them they're all beautiful. And hope that we can just maintain that kind of level of performance, I think, into the second half. That's all that we really need. Looks so good in this game. And I guess coming up to the hour mark, we probably should look to make some changes now. I'm going to take off some of the players who are a bit tired. So Regina, come off for Matt Smith. You know what? Myton will give him a rare appearance. Actually, no. Do I want to play Myton? I don't want to play Myton. I'm sorry, Myton. We're going to bring in Arojo. See what he can do for us. So yeah, fresh players in the wide areas. One thing I've noticed just in general with this system that we play is the defensive wingers are always tired. And I don't know if it is that they're running around a lot. I feel like Football Manager just doesn't like defensive wingers existing, to be fair. They get knackered all the time. They just love running around, I guess. Right, enough of me talking about our defensive wingers running around. We need to win the ball back here and give Swansea the run around. They get a goal now with 13 minutes left. There is a little bit of squeaky bum time. It starts to get a little closer. Either way, dinked over. One-on-one here. And I'll tell you what, Stokes to the rescue. You could definitely argue that Stokes was at fault for the defeat that we had against the Welsh side that we played in the league, of course, in Cardiff. You might have noticed in the recap. Lots of chances he kind of let in that he shouldn't have been letting in. For me, at least. I'll tell you what, in this game here, he's made the one critical save when he's needed to. So I'm not going to knock him. I'm not going to criticise him. Been a bit of a weird second half. I feel like the momentum has gone here. The game is kind of fizzling out. Could there be time or a chance for one more? We'll get there eventually with my English. Sarr, Robertson, they are committed men forward here. This is space for us to break into. Brewster, 2 men in the box, make that free. Smith making the underlapping run, hits it, falls to Samake, who tucks it away. Goal number 21 for him. It is a humiliation. Nottingham Forest 3, Swansea City 0. This feels good. This feels very good. Bring on the FA Cup 5th round, everyone. We're going to qualify for Europe this year via the FA Cup. It's been a dominant display against a team who, make no mistake, they are playing a very strong team today. And, well, this is a test for us, I suppose, looking ahead to next season. And at the moment, it is a test that we are passing with flying colours. Are we Premier League ready? At least on the basis of this result, I feel like you'd have to say yes. Although maybe that's me just getting a bit carried away at this point. Let's keep the clean sheet if we can. Unsuccessfully cleared away there. But at the second time of asking, Hoover gets it away. Swansea just throwing men forward now. So much space for Brewster to run into. 2 men to his left. One of them is Samake. Fortunately, can't quite find him with the pass, and now, well, it comes the other way. Swansea down this near-hand side. They've got a bit of an overlap, but I'll tell you what, Thiago's going to win it, and there are men everywhere in the middle. Can he pick one of them out? Passes it in. Samake's shot blocked into Raya's hands, who tries to get it away quickly to Jones. Swansea not giving up just yet, although with 2 minutes left, someone should probably let them know they're not going to come back from 3 goals down. It's going to end there. 3-0. Very, very convincing performance. Great performance by our entire team. Malang Sarr, live com debut, 8.1. He's having a great time. And Samake back in goal-scoring form. Didn't mention it actually, but Leighton Stewart has been injured for the last couple of weeks. And in his place, obviously, we've had Samake come in and play down the middle. It's been absolutely top draw for us. He's been getting his goals. He's found his goal-scoring boots again, everyone. Either way, the media, they can't believe it. Just going to leave me hanging here. We're waiting for the media reaction, everyone. Come on. Come on, media. You can do this for me. What's happening? Football Manager. I've just won 3-0, Football Manager. Don't take this result away from me by stopping responding. Thank you. Thank you. It heard me. Elsewhere, you can see here, unfortunately for us, Norwich did win their game in hand in the league. So they climb up to second, but we are still 12 points clear of them. And look at the goal difference. I mean, excluding Bournemouth. But the goal difference between us and a few of the other teams around us is pretty vast. So that's essentially another point to the likes of Norwich and Stoke, who currently occupy second and third place. Either way, we're going into the FA Cup 5th round. I feel like a nice little cup distraction could be a nice way to, I want to say, end this season, but of course there's a long way left to go, really. Whoever we have in the 5th round, assuming it's a sexy tie, that is when we'll be back next time. It's going to be at the start of March. We have got a few tough games in the league between then and now, but with how things are looking right now, I feel like the FA Cup's sexy. It's where we want to be. And if we just look, because in March we have got our youth intake, we have had our youth intake preview. If we just take a peek at it, apparently it's a golden generation. We've all seen that before. Usually means you get one player with a little bit of ability. Let's hope this year it's a really, really good one though. Anyway, folks, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. Some revenge against Swansea, not only for our playoff defeat, but also for the real-life FA Cup result between them earlier on this season. I hope I've done some Forest fans justice, and, well, hopefully next time we'll be doing some more justice giving and going into the 6th round of the FA Cup. Anyway, folks, that's all from me today. I'm rambling on. Transfer window is still open. We still have money to spend. Will I spend it? Come back tomorrow and find out. I'll see you guys then. It is me, Jack, and, yeah, I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.